video, so I'm very excited. And my first video, I decided to touch base on the ACE Certified Personal Training exam, because I noticed when it came time to get closer to my exam, I was like, well, let me get other people's experience on the exam, and go figure, there were only like a couple of videos and a lot was from the past, like years ago. So of course ACE, I mean, I'm pretty positive some of this stuff has stayed the same, but they're also added in new material for everything. So let's get started on my experience, my style of learning, and what you can do for tips and tricks on how to study and prepare for the exam. So I got the whole giant package that has everything included, from every single study material to, it also comes with 2 practiced exams, and the exam voucher was included in the package. And I found it all very helpful. So I mean, I recommend you getting everything, or just the basics if you need it. You could probably find everything on Amazon too, but I would also recommend, if you go that option of buying your material elsewhere, that you go to ACE and buy the practice exams. That way you're not flustered, so you know how they word their questions. So the ACE packet that I got comes with this, the manual, the study guide that goes with the manual, the essentials on exercise, and the note cards that go with the essentials on exercise. So everything I saw said that, mostly everybody said that this is not big on the exam, but honestly I had a lot of questions from here. I mean, I won't say like, I'd say about maybe 15 or 20 questions. Just actually a lot. It was a really long test. But so I recommend you do go over this. Don't skip it, especially if you have no background in A&P whatsoever. I definitely recommend reading this. The note cards, however, I did not use. I probably went over them once or twice, but I mean, they're good if you, like I said, if you have no background, I would recommend doing them. But yes, please do read. The next thing is the manual. Big. Read it, and I love the study guide that it comes with. I mean, it just, I'll show you. It wants to go. It's just breaking down super fast, so you don't have to do it. And then at the end, it has sample questions, and then it gives you the answers, and then it tells you where to find the answers, which is extremely helpful. So I ordered this in May, the end of May, and we went on vacation in June. So I pretty much didn't touch it all of vacation. When we came back from vacation is when I was like, okay, I need to hammer down. And I decided to set a timeline of when I would take my exam, because I was like, okay, if I don't set a timeline, then I'll keep procrastinating and I'll just blow it off pretty much. So I just took it at the beginning of this month, September, and I passed. Thank God. I cried when I did. Excuse me. And yeah, so depending on what type of a learning style you are, I recommend that you go with that. Some people are visual learners, so they have to see it, do it. I recommend YouTube, going on YouTube and watching videos of how things work, the tests that it asks for. And there are people who have to write, and write everything. I'm a reader. Oh, and there's hands-on. I use my husband for that too. I'm a reader. I have to read over and over, and it is quite aggravating. I hate my learning style, I'm not gonna lie, but that's how I learn. I have to read it over and over, and then I get burnt out on the material extremely fast, because then I think I know it, And I know when I get burnt out, then I know my information. So that's how I study. So let's get into it and what you need to know and should know. Basically everything. You should have a basic grasp on everything. It doesn't ask you specifically like, oh, your client is doing a dumbbell curl, what muscle is being worked on? That I remember, or I don't remember a question like that in any way, shape, or form. It was mostly like you're watching a client do a squat and you notice that their knees turn inward when they are going down with their squat. What muscle should be worked? What muscle is being lengthened? What muscle is weak? So on and so forth. So I definitely recommend this book I want to say about 75-80% of the test comes from your manual. So chapter 7, if you have the new one, this is I think 5th edition. The 5th edition. If you have the new one, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So chapter 7 definitely is a big one. It's a lovely chapter, but pretty much know your big ones are lordosis and kyphosis. I may be saying that wrong, but know those two. Those two are the main back problems that it will bring up a lot. And know about hip flexion, hip extension. You don't have to know about views, at least I don't. Tilts. Know your pelvic tilts. Know what's happening when you have an anterior pelvic tilt, and know what's happening when you have a posterior pelvic tilt. Said it's this page, if you need to know, page 159. Tighter over dominant hip flexors and erector spinae are for your lovely over dominant hip flexors. And that's for the anterior, is your hip flexors and your erector spinae, and your hammies and your rectus abdominis are for your posterior pelvic tilt. Know your pelvic tilts. I will say know your scapular winging and everything like that. Know what muscles actually are being affected if you have scapular winging. What can you do to tighten it back up? Stretch it out. You know what I'm talking about, guys. The bend and lift, like I said, chapter 7. These ones, the little tables, I'll say the little tables, know them. Seriously, know them. I'm not gonna lie, it'll say, with the bend and lift screen, I'll give you an example of something. It says, let me find one, knees. Alright, you're witnessing a client from the anterior view whose knees move inwards. What is suspected of being overactive or tight? And you should know that it'd be hip adductors, tensor fasciae latae. I may be saying that one wrong too, but just know, seriously, know. For your hurdle steps screen, you know, when they have the PVC pipe over and you're watching them step over the left line. What, they tilt to the right, or they tilt to the left. I'm kind of brain dead. Know what is happening when they tilt. Let's see what else I can explain there. I only had one math question. I know a lot of people get worried about math on this because, I mean, come on. That's a lot to remember. But Not gonna lie, I honestly only had one out of however many questions there were. I honestly don't remember how many questions there were. How sad is that? And I just took it. But, yeah. I only had one. I mean, a lot of people probably get more. A lot of people probably have none. But, chapter 7. No. Chapter 7. Like the back of your hand. Oh, that's quite new. No, just kidding. But yes, no, chapter 7. It's a big one. Know your legal. I had quite a bit of legal, so be sure you. No, I should have written notes for this, but I didn't have anything about like, oh, say, do you want to be a by yourself person, or do you want to work for a company? See, I'm kind of brain dead. Do you want to be independent, or do you want to work through a company? I didn't have anything like that. I only had like if you are working with a client who you are watching do something and you turn away for a second and they injure themselves, but then they tell you, oh, well, I hurt my arm the other day. Then you know what kind of fault is that. I didn't have anything on like the yoga. Pretty much 7, 8, 9, 10. I did have a couple risk factors. Like, what is the risk factor for this person? There was, another math, sorry, too. I think it was calculating, like food. Sorry, calculating food. But other than that, that's all I can think of. But, no, like, if your person wants endurance strength training, or they want resistance, and they want endurance resistance training, if they want strength, if they want mass, know that, and know, and I know it sucks because I hated that chapter. I hated the chapter on cardiovascular. I know. Because it's just, I couldn't understand it until I read it. Like I said, the type of learner I am until I read it over and over and over and over again. But I'm trying to make this short and sweet, but it really is a lot of material to cover. So do know about strength training, well, resistance training, and everything like that. Know your cardiorespiratory training and programming. The study guide, I love this. What I did probably about a month, my last month. I only took 2 months, honestly, to study, and I'm pretty positive if I would have did it later, I would have had more time, but 2 months. What I did with the study guide is I went over this every day, actually. I went over it, and what I would do is, let me see, I'll show you, is I read these, and then I read the chapters. I think chapter 7 honestly has a lot of crap on it. I'm surprised not as much. But I'd read it, and then I would write notes to help, in my terms, understand. And chapters that I had a good grasp on, I would just skim over the study guide portion of it. I wouldn't actually go in depth into the book. But know your scope of practice. Know that you aren't a dietitian. You aren't a doctor. You can't write meal plans for somebody. You can't prescribe them medicine. You can't tell them, oh, take this supplement. As much as you may be tempted to, just know that they need to reach out to their doctor or a registered dietitian, somebody like that. Let me think. Oh, no. I can't look at the back of your head. Let me find out. Know your the stages. You have repertoire, you have investigation, planning, and action. So know those also. Like, it'll be like your client, you have a client I'm trying to think, who you are working with, and you're doing all their forms and things like that. It's like, what stage are you in? So, I'm Brandon. Sorry, guys. Another thing is your TTMs. Know that. Oh my goodness. The trans-theoretical model of behavioral change. Know it. Pre-contemplation, contemplation, preparation, action, and maintenance. Know that pre-contemplation, they aren't working out at all. They don't give a F. They don't think about it. They don't care. Contemplation, they're still sedentary, but they're starting to consider activity. Preparation, slight activity, it's inconsistent. And action is they're regularly working out, exercising, getting some form of activity, but it's less than 6 months, and greater than 6 months is maintenance. Know those. Know those ones. Those come up a lot. No, and self-efficacy, whatever that is, you know what I'm talking about. Know that too. It's Thursday. I'm ready for Friday. But like I said, chapter 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, I think. Yes. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Not so much 12. Not 13 in any way, shape, or form. 14. Look at that. There were only a couple of questions about like certain populations. I remember pregnant female is the only questions out. Sorry guys, the only ones I ever got, and I got quite a bit on the pregnant female. Let me think. Common musculoskeletal injuries and implications for exercise, chapter 15. I had a couple questions on those. I would just brush up on it, you know, just make sure you know, like, how to work through it. I think the only one I got was probably about low back pain, if I remember. That was a while ago. Emergency procedures, know what to do in those cases. Legal guidelines and professional responsibilities. This one, it's the only chapter 17, 18. I had nothing on 18. I'm trying to make this video short, but yes, like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And did I say 12? You know, because I keep harping on it. Yeah. 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 are pretty much what you want to focus on. And this, get some knowledge in A&P. If you don't have a history of A&P, or you don't have a background in any of it, I do recommend taking this. And I know it seems like a lot of information. I'm not gonna lie, it definitely is. I've taken 3 A&P classes, so yeah. I couldn't imagine, 4 actually, I couldn't imagine getting all this sprung at me, like, here. But, I mean, it's good to know, to get a grasp on, to have it. And like I said, these, you can throw them away. You don't need those. So, chapter 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Know your scope of practice. Know the TTM. Know the stages of change. And you will be ready to take this exam. I'm not gonna lie. And breathe, relax. Take what you need. Take the time you need. Don't rush it like I did. But, like I said, you'll get it. Like just do what you gotta do. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm super excited to be starting to make videos. I am a mom, I am a wife, and I hope to be a future bikini competitor. And I am an ACE certified personal trainer. So if you have any questions or anything, leave them down below and I will let you know. But thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.